Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another round of the RaceKraft Simulations V8 Vets Split 4, coming to you on a Sunday night instead of Friday due to other commitments for the Pro Series. I'm John Van Ree. With me tonight's Mark Dial. How are you, Mark?
Yeah, good, thanks, John. Looking forward to getting my feet wet here in Split 4.
Definitely a little bit of water around leading into the race. Let's have a quick look at this track. Of course, we might do the flyby first tonight. The great Will Wilson out again in his Piper Malibu, flying over the eastern suburbs of Melbourne. Tracking towards, of course, heading towards the west, flying over the great Sandown horse racing track. We can see on the outskirts of that the circuit we're running tonight. It is an interesting little place. It is about 10-15 k's out of the CBD of Melbourne, just inland a bit from the bay itself. You can see the bay in the background there. But it is a track that was going to close, Dandenong Road, very famous icon as well. Track that was going to close, but has remained open for a very long period of time to come, I believe. That got stemmed. Let's have a quick look at the actual track itself. We start on the start-finish straight, heading in the same direction as the horses. We go down into turn 1. Then we go through the first chicane complex through turns 2 and 3, and then down into Corrigan Road in turn 4, where we then head up the back straightaway and kink at 5, and then we come through the fast-flowing 4th and 5th gear, turn 6, and then down through the kink at 7 and 8 into Dandenong Corner at 9. Hard braking area, plenty of action always in that part of the world. We then come out of 9 under the bridge at 10, into 11 and 12 again. I think people call that a chicane as well. And then we come through turn 13, which is more than just a bit of a kink in the road, and back down the start finish straight past the grandstands for the horse racing circuit itself. Quick look at the championship while we roll through this, and basically we have ourselves sitting with, after 5 rounds, with Stephen Williams on top with 712 points with 1 drop round. Abel Verban is sitting in second on 686. Sean Slater in third, Peter Kelly in fourth. Peter Wilkinson, the TikTok influencer himself, sits in 5th, Simon Black in 6th, Michael Hayes in 7th, 8th is Pete Morris, 9th is Dave Baldock. He shares that 9th position with Yusuf Korafides. So that rounds out our top 10. So Baldock's still hanging on, Mark.
Yeah. Yeah, well, let's see what can happen tonight. Anything can happen.
Of course, anything can and will happen. Let's jump onto the grid. I know we've got a big one tonight with 250 Ks, so we'll get the grid going first. And of course, Abel Verban, the man that won the last race. There we go, 35 kilometres from Melbourne, a little bit further out than I thought. Abel Verban from Sim RacerHQ is on pole alongside Michael Powers from Southern Cross Racing. Great to see Michael on the front row. I know he absolutely loves this track. It's one of his better circuits that he races at. Pete Kelly from Team VGA sits on the second row with our championship leader from DPR, Stephen Williams. On the third row is Darren Friend from Old Mates and Sons. He lines up alongside the Hinge Sim Sports Yusuf Korafides. On the fourth row is Marty Hughes from Pacific Esports lining up alongside Carl Pickering from Pico Industries. On the fifth row, Craig Rose from Quantum Racing lines up alongside Oceanic Sim Racing Simon Black. I don't know how this happened, but this bloke's in 6th. He lines up alongside Kevin O'Neill from We Race. There was some discussion that maybe, just maybe, it could have been KO doing the qualifying there. Anyway, go over the page. Conversation was had. And then 13th is David Baldock. I don't know what's going on there either, guys. Pete Morris lines up on that 7th row from Fishy Motorsports alongside Baldock. On the 8th row is Timmy Vermey from 1MLT, and he lines up alongside Leon Williams from Locked On Racing. We then drop onto the 9th row where we've got Darren Freer from W2 Motorsports alongside Anthony Rivett from SLS Racing. And then on the 10th row is Ashley Hall from Quantum Racing lining up alongside Greg Sholton from Mustangs North Queensland. The 11th row sees Bruce Galloway from W2 Motorsports lining up alongside Michael Hayes from Unhinged Sim Sports. We'd like to have had Hazy in here that talk tyres. Can't really show tyres with the current version of SDK, which is a bit disappointing, but there was a few guys trying to do quali on dry tyres, which I think was a little bit interesting. And then, of course, on the 12th row, David Logstar from Team AJR lined up alongside Player One's Timmy Hall. And over the page is Dave Coleman from V8 Vets Racing. Mandeep Singh is our safety car driver tonight. And then we have, of course, Braden O'Loughlin didn't set a time for Frogleap Juiced Racing. Kurt Heath didn't set a time. Darren Walden didn't set a time. Dougie Wright didn't set a time. Vaughan Robinson didn't set a time for Southern Cross. Brendan McLean didn't set a time for BMAC Racing. Phil Marsh is in the server as a spotter. Dale Harvey didn't set a time, and Robbie Williams didn't set a time. So, like I said, you boys trying to do some quali on dry tyres, I think struggled that little bit there to get the traction down to get themselves over the line, making it very, very, very interesting to get himself into that one there. And just rolling over the page. So that's pretty much what the grid is, Mark. Just any thoughts from yourself on that one?
Yeah, interesting that there's a lot of drivers that are higher up. You would expect some of the drivers to be those down the bottom to be up there too, but yeah, obviously they didn't do their quali as well as they should have. But it was an interesting track to do quali on. I didn't do quali myself. I thought it's better off starting the back, so see what happens. And yeah, so yeah, interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Dave 13th.
Yeah, Dave 13th, myself in 11th, which was a little bit of a surprise. I think myself and Dave were among the group on qualifying on dry tyres. So just looking at that grid there, I think Marty Hughes is the only guy in front of myself on dry tyres. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think from Pete Morris down, there was pretty much a mixture of guys on a variety of tyres, variety of dry tyres. So it's got to be interesting, as we've seen from the other races this weekend already, that it is going to be a case. If you do start on those dry tyres, it's not like it's not possible, but if you do start on those dry tyres, you've just got to take it easy, look after it, and the race should come to you as the rain has passed. But we will see how we go. Let's have a quick look at the weather before we tick it off as well. That was what I was supposed to show. And, of course, the weather, it is only a very light wind, so not much happening with that. We'll get rid of that one. I've got it blocked anyway. And we might light the wick on this one, Mark, and get it started, I think. What do you think?
It sounds like a plan.
Went past right. What's that?
It looks very gloomy.
It is very overcast. Welcome to Melbourne, 4 seasons in one day. We've already had about 5 to 10 mils of rain this morning just as practice kicked off. It's about the first half hour of practice was in the wet. The track has dried out during the warm-up a bit more. As I said, there's a mix of tyres. It is going to be really interesting. Strategy will play a lot into this one. It is a tough track to race at, as we know. But let's light the wick on this and get ourselves started. Let's see, we're about to go, and we're green, we're away. Abel Verban has got a jump start on Kelly. Powers has gone back a bit. Kelly's now come forward. They are a roaring number of cars. You can see a little bit of spray. Got to be careful getting off the line. This is the problem. You get off that driving line, it is a bit damp and wet. And just going to drop back here. As you can see, the rest of the pack coming through. And a little bit of a tap there of Anthony Rivet. He's gone around, and there is a bit of a collision there. I think this might be a blown motor as well or something. There's a big puff of smoke. And he gets himself going. But it is Pete Kelly from Team VGA that has got himself up and running and shooting down the line here real quick. As he is going to take us down into Dandenong for the first time. He is absolutely done a bolter as he heads down now into 11 and 12. Comes under the Penrite Bridge. Can he pull it up? Still see there's a little bit of spray coming out from under the cars. A little bit of a dry line, but not over the top. Can we see?
Made a good break.
Made a great jump on Yusuf. Stephen Williams back in 5th, Friendy in 6th, Pico 7th. Simon Black's up 2. Kevin O'Neill, the other KO, he's got himself up 3 spots into the top 10. That's a great start by him. Marty Hughes has gone down 4 spots. These boys here having an absolute great start. Just going to go back here. Timmy Vermey alongside Pete Morris. Morris going to hang on there. He goes a bit wide. Comes back on, but I think Vermey's going to get through. Like I said, no car sound. That might be a little bit better. And 2 guys there fighting the grass that little bit. They get themselves going. Kelly under pressure now. Verban gets there. Oh! He hangs on to it. Wow. Wow. Got away with that one. Hopefully that car sounds a bit better. Let me know if it's not. I'll have to do a quick add brake and fix it. And definitely heading down into starting lap 3. So Abel Verban now has got it over Kelly. Power in third. Yusuf Korafides. The boys have all bunched back up again. That was an amazing catch by Verban. He managed to hang on to that one really well. Just going to go down a little bit. Pick up our good mate Michael Hayes. Normally with us. I think he did have some family commitments and different time frame catching people out. He's tucked right up behind Dougie Wright, and it is going to be hard work coming down into turn 1. Can he get it pulled up? No, he can't. Oh, this could be ugly. No, he's sitting in the middle there. I think there's cars going everywhere. He might get away with that one. A few guys off into the grass, but he gets away. As we jump back up with Kelly. Coming down into Dandenong. So he gets himself underway. So we have Verban, Kelly, Power, Korafides, Shaw, Steve Williams, Darren Friend, Carl Pickering, Simon Black. He is hanging in there in the top 8. Marty Hughes on the dry tyre. He's sitting in 9th. Ben Rees up 1, back 10th. Baldock up 2 and 11th. Craig Rose. He's the next man on my list. Going back down, Timmy Vermay, Pete Morris. The driver from Fish, he should be loving it being in the water. Coming down into turn 1. Pete, oh, he's just missed his braking point there. He's off in the sand. I think the Fish has been beached. And definitely Simon Black, he's putting some moves on Marty Hughes, putting some moves on Simon Black, sorry. And just gonna jump a bit further forward for Mick Power, tucked right up behind Kelly.
Darren Walden up 16. Made a good start. Thank you, right. Up 12.
Lap 5 starting, and not sure what's going on, but I think we've had some equipment failure with Power. Power's driven that into the wall there and stopped.
That's not good.
That's not good at all. We got Marty Hughes, misses his braking point. A bit of a flicker of brakes there, so not sure whether it's some equipment gear going on there as well. That's allowed a few cars through. And I do believe we may be under a safety car. Or Mr. Power sitting out in the middle. So just double checking. That safety car hasn't come out yet. I should really fix that. But anyway, we'll stick with it.
You can see a dry line.
Yeah, dry line's coming on. I think I just hummed and hard. I think a couple of guys will go in or have gone in. Then I think a few others just hummed and hard whether it was worth going in the dries or not. Whether it's too early was the thought process.
Yeah.
So it looks like the safety car is coming out of the pit now. So yeah, I'm probably a fraction early on calling that. But safety car is got the lights on, so they're heading out of the lane. I might just take the opportunity to have a very quick look at the Anthony Rivet lap 1, turn 2 incident, turn 3 incident. We'll go to the Chook Raffle rewind. We'll play this one back through. Just realised I've got Discord channel turned on. We'll get that fixed in a second, but you can see here that it's always Baldock involved in some way, shape or form, isn't it? So we can see just got Leon Williams having that little bit of a look on the inside there on Anthony, and just a little bit of contact. Once there's contact in that wet conditions, the car's just going to spin. It is around it goes, and then of course there's nowhere to go. You've got half the field behind you, and it is all tucked up and looking very, very ugly as we go back. Safety car picking up the race leader, or picking up the field. I think they had a little bit of a jiggle there, which I had to clean up. So, of course, Mandeep Singh is our safety car driver. We had to outsource it on Thursday night. So I just think the Uber driver just turned up that little bit too late for us. That's all right. We're getting plenty of waiver rounds now, so we'll just let them all catch up. But our race leader is Mr. Abel Verban. We've seen a few go into the pits. Pickering, Black, Bren, Baldock are all in.
I want to know what luck Baldock's got. He's going to be the luckiest person on the sim.
Oh, who knows? Who knows?
That was so close to having a tap.
Oh, like we've seen the last 3 weeks, he's been around the outside, on the inside, driven through. It's like anyone else turns up, it's like, here you go, cop a car.
Yeah.
So, safety car has picked up the field. And definitely an interesting one. A couple of things out. Track looks wetter than Split 1 did. I'd probably say us Split 4 drivers don't drive as good, so it's harder to get a dry line because we probably didn't suck the wetness out of the track as well as his boys did. So I can probably say 2 wide, 3 corners, and this track, yeah, in the wet, I'd probably say it's a little bit of a risk. You see plenty of puddles laying around. Some trying to break out the back there. Here we go, some wave rounds happening. So it is getting a bit brighter out to the west. So maybe the weather is about to change.
Just looking at it, even from Split 3's point of view, it was definitely a lot brighter than the Split 4 one.
Could be too that I run a little bit different gammas on a broadcaster to try and get metallics to pop with that a little bit. Baldock's ducked into the pit lane now. That's going to send him back a little bit. Of course, safety car brought to us by our good friends at RaceKraft Simulations. Shout out to Wilco in the chat. Looks like we've still got some wave rounds to go. And so a little bit of a shake up. So just so we're aware, Pickering is leading the ones that have gone into the pits from Black. McLean back there hasn't, so we're talking the guys back in 20th here. So jump so Pico can see. Pico, he sits in there. There we go. Baldock went back in because he spared in pits. It's too fast. It's almost like he's a savant, I think, when it comes to those accidents, Mark. I think he can just perceive and see what's going to happen in front of him.
Yeah, he's got a little crystal ball on the dash.
Of course, that's Sandown. One of the spiritual homes of the thoroughbred horse racing in Victoria. Baldock could be right at home here. And a long weekend, not in a good way, getting through. It's racing Thursday.
got Melbourne Cup coming up this weekend.
Yeah, Melbourne Cup on Tuesday. Yeah, would have been one you would have enjoyed, Wilco. It was a very, very tough one, as I think the safety car has gone in and we are racing again as we pick it up with Abe running it through turns 2 and 3. And Roy up to 6, yep. Moving forward. Still got some frame rates at this stage, so can see where I'm going.
Someone was a little bit loose at the back.
That's probably me. Well, Marty Hughes was, I think, out of memory.
Yeah.
He's still on those dry tyres. Everyone else up the front here is on wet still. But Abel Verban, how he hung onto that earlier, coming into Dandenong, absolutely spun it round sideways. Pete Kelly in P2, that's good to see him. Yusuf Korafides is up 3 spots. Stephen Williams, our championship leader, he's back into 4th, the DPR man himself. Absolutely doing very well here as we tick over to start lap 10. Marty Hughes pulling up alongside him here. On these dry tyres, is he going to get it to pull up? Oh, that was a Pelican missile. And that's into the fence. It looks like everyone else has gotten through there okay. I think it might have been Yusuf, might have been a little bit clipped. Move somebody up to 5th for those playing along at home. Of course, Pickering involved in something back there as well. Pickering going down the order, so he's gone off as well in turn 1. So a few guys getting caught out on dry tyres. Jump back up the front. As I think Pico was having some gear failure. And I think we are back under safety car.
And just as the sun comes out down the back end of the track.
The sun is out, so hopefully it's bright enough for you now, Mark. The sun is out, so now we're seeing Williams in. This is where I wasn't quick enough to react. I should have gone into. So Verban, Kelly, Korafides, Van Ree, Rose have all stayed out on. Rose was on dry tyres. Walden was on dry tyres. So seeing the dry tyre runners here all come to the front as the others have gone in for their tyres. So yeah, the sun is out. It is a beautiful shining day, and let's have a quick look at Marty Hughes's incident here. We'll go into the replay, and we are going to come down the straight, and I think it must be gear failure, but it could also be he's off on the wet line there. You can see the spray coming up, so it would have been hard to pull it up as well. And then I think at this stage realised I was going to make the corner. Yusuf very lucky not to get spun as well. Flips it around enough. And then, yeah, Marty, nowhere to go. Just over the kitty litter and into the tyres. Of course, that brings our good friend Mandeep Singh back out again. At least we're getting our money's worth. May go another lap with the safety car with this one. And Mandeep looks like he's not going in, so one more lap under the safety car. Great going. About to start lap 12, we've had the safety car out twice, so this could be a long night. Second safety car in 10 laps. He's following along at home. A great little track. Course V8's down here in 2 weeks' time for the second last round of their season. Championship. Interesting to see how that plays out. Of course, in the Xfinity Series, plenty of talk about that overnight, well, this morning, with the guy who's won the most races and done the yards all season not winning the championship. So, interesting to see how it plays out for the V8s.
Yeah,
Plenty of discussion on that one.
Been lots.
And D gives it a gutful. Absolutely flying. Very well under control. Probably lucky the fix set came with dry, wet tyres. Make it a little bit easier for him. Puts it away in the lane nicely. And then we now jump back to our main man, Abel Verban. When does he go? Definitely. Gunter, Mr. Worrell, g'day. We are green flag racing again. Abel Verban has gotten the jump and a half. It is a great little start from him. So it's going to be Verban, Kelly, Corafides, Van Reet, Rose, Walden, Freer, Morris, Hall and Sholton rounding out the top 10. And of course, the man to watch, Simon Black, is the leader of our guys who have stopped for tyres. A couple of dry tyre runners towards the front now as well. So the race starting to change format. Track drying out, that little bit of sunshine we had. Definitely a lot to play for here. Just going to look for my good friend Mr. Stephen Williams and Mr. Hayes. So this is where our championship leader is. He's all the way back in 25th. So Williams went in on lap 10. So the guys who went in on the second stop, Williams is leading that. So that's Williams, Hayes, Vermate. All pitted at lap 10. Hayes, he'd be trying to hang on to Williams here. Down into Dandenong. A little bit of panel rubbing in front there of Logsdale. Williams gets past. Hayes goes for the inside. He's locked that up. That is a missile. And he gets into Hughes, into the fence. It's two in the fence. That is the problem we're talking about. Dry tyres, get off the line, get a puddle. It turns into a rocket. Hazy gets himself going again. He's into the lane too, so obviously that's a meatball. Darren Freer is sitting in 7th, up 10 spots. Darren Walden in front of him is up 23 spots in 6th at the moment. That is a great start from him. Definitely a little bit happening already. It has been a fair bit going on. Continuing on, Verban from Kelly is going to go back. Sholton's in a bit of a battle here as well. See that track starting to dry out a fair bit now. The puddles are starting to disappear. Definitely a dry line. A little bit of spray when the guys get off the line though. At 15. Go back to Steve Williams, our championship leader. He's trying to battle his way back up here. Still see a little bit of water offline, so I've got to be that little bit careful. So Williams going to have a look on the inside of O'Loughlin, backs out of it. And comes in and gets himself a bit wide. That's not good for our championship leader. Gets himself back on safely, but only just. Dale Harvey almost into the thick of it there as well. Jump back up on Craig Rose. Rosie sitting in 5th. A great position. Walden behind him. So these guys only started on the dry tyres and have taken their time, starting to find their way to the front. It's round about now. It was like, how much do you keep pushing on? Did miss that opportunity with that second stop when Williams went in. Going to go back to Hall. Quantum Racing driver, he's in the thick of it. He's got Simon Black and Kurt Heath tucked up behind him. But Blackie and Heath here are absolutely in the thick of it. So this being led, this group, of course. Pete Morris, Darren Freer. Morris 3 seconds up the road, so it's Freer, Hall, Heath, Simon Black. And then, of course, Bruce Galloway tagging onto the back of this group.
Nice little battle pack.
Definitely battling away. Plenty of action already. As we start lap 17, just going to go a little bit further back. Jump on board Braden O'Loughlin. He's trying to fight his way forward with the one and only Anthony Rivet in front of him. Carl Pickering's back here with this group as well. O'Loughlin goes into the inside onto the wet line. Can he pull this one up? No, he slides through. Oh, wow. Stephen Williams is very lucky to get through there without being involved in that. Yeah, I know you did, Dave. And very lucky there to continue on. Ducky Wright, jump back with him. He's still in this battle here. There's Baldock. His way back in 19th, tucked up behind Friendy. You blame me, Luke?
Yeah, exactly.
Coming down into turn 1, Rosie pulls out to have a bit of a look. And sails on by. That was the old, he's not going to make that, he's not going to make that. I'll just open the wheel up a little bit and straight through. Does pay to look in the mirrors sometimes. As he comes back out on the track now, Rosie drops himself back to 10th. Freer moves up into 7th. The Leighton Larrikin, he's made his way up 10 spots. He's under a lot of pressure though from Ashley Hall from Quantum Racing. Still plenty to play for here.
Coming up the inside.
Blackie gets the job done.
Nice move.
It was absolute legend. Racing Simon Black, showing what he can do. Van Ree ducks into the lane. At this stage where Van Ree's frame rates go from 50 to 11. Tell you what, it's quite interesting going through turns 2 and 3 with 11 frame rate.
I'd say pretty good.
Yeah, so second stop. When I taped that one, I actually left the server and came back in. Lost a lap. but gained 100 extra frames per second, so I was pretty happy with that. And Vaughan Robinson is trying to latch onto the back of these boys in front of him. They definitely battling on. Also, big shout out to Dave Coleman for sending me the replay. Oh, Vaughan, he's gone off. That's a little bit wide there. Simon Black just sets the fastest lap with a 1:10.8.26. And Vaughan, a little bit of an off there. He's under a bit of pressure from Sholton behind. Sholton having a bit of a look. And catches the curb. Oh! Leon Williams just sneaks through there.
He's got some luck.
Same thing again. Another car spins. Who's lurking in the background? Bulldog.
Yeah.
There he is.
He's always there. Unbelievable.
Looking out on the horse speed. Wrong track, Dave. Racetrack's on the outside, not the inside where the horses are, mate. Bulldog loses a couple of spots there. And Williams looking to make another move. Just for Luke Allman, I told him not to spin either as well, but he doesn't listen to me. And I think I might have missed Hazy. Hazy had a bit of it off there somewhere in the middle as well. He's back in the pits. A bit of a rough night for Hazy. And another move. He's making his way forward pretty quick now. He's Stephen Williams. Back in 15th though. He's got a long way to go to get himself back up where the main guys are. So he's got Leon Williams and Vaughan Robinson in front of him. Take the focus off you, Vaughan. I think two more. Getting good speed though, this is the thing. He's flying, gonna go up Pete Morris. He's now got Blackie behind him.
Nice drive out of there.
He is driving really, really well, and he's really enjoying his driving, which is great to see. Stepped out of the shadow from K-Dog and hasn't looked back. Going to dive on the inside here. Nice move, Mr. Black. That is another one. Next man up the road is Darren Walden, but here comes Morris. Morris comes back at him. Hangs onto it. These boys are having an absolute rip snorter of a battle. Ash Hall in the box seat watching this. Rosie behind him. And a bit of a lock up, but he gets himself through this time. Oh, oi! Rosie with a bit of a tap. I think it was Rose or Hall, sorry. Simon with a bit of love going on there. And a bit of a battle up front between Yusuf and Walden. And Morris now latching onto the back of this group. Baines 5 seconds up the road from these guys. So plenty of battles everywhere here at the moment.
Yeah, very close.
Walden showing some good pace. Going to go a bit further back as Yusuf Coralfidis goes in. It's going to go back to Kevin O'Neill. It's another little battle a bit further back in the pack. O'Neill, Friendy, O'Loughlin. And O'Loughlin gets up the inside there. O'Neill comes back and gets himself caught out a little wide there. Allows the two guys to get through. Still see plenty of puddles. He got off the dry line. Of course, these boys getting to hurry up with Bulldog working in the background. Gonna go up to Bruce Galloway. He's tucked in behind Kurt Heath. Darren Freer within striking range as well. Lap 26, heading down is Mr. Hayes. How are you, Hazy?
Yeah, good, mate. I missed the early start.
Yeah, the 8 o'clock start. Yeah, I did put that out last night, I think. But anyway, that's all right. I don't think he wanted to see the first 15 laps anyway, to be honest.
No, I'm sure you've already shown the embarrassment that I've put forward on the night.
I wouldn't say embarrassment. We just blame Bulldog.
Nice. Yeah. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, we started that a little bit earlier. Then being a weeknight, or being a Sunday night, everyone back at work tomorrow and a long race, we thought we'd go early.
Nice.
Timmy Verme, he is moving forward. Simon Black, Craig Rose is at the fastest time now with a 1:10.782. So track is definitely starting to dry out. As we're on lap 27.
Careful there.
Wide, yep.
Quite a few people moving forward. Vaughan's doing well.
Yeah.
Darren Walden, Kurt Heath.
Yeah, quite a few. Still a few to make their first stop. Abel left out there on dry, wet tyres still, doing very well. And then Walden, Morris, Black. Well, Black has stopped. Rose, Heath. And then I think Galloway's the other one that stopped. But basically everyone's on dry tyres at this stage of the race, so see what the Melbourne weather can throw up next. Hey, Tim, you're doing a really good job. He's going to go back up to Walden and Morris. These two boys have been close at it for a fair while. See Pato out there watching as well.
He must be close to having his computer fixed again and seeing him back out on track.
I think a few issues with the parts turned up, and then I think something didn't work, and just reordered something else, and I think his modem's died now as well. So I think
He didn't have bad luck. He'd have no luck.
about to say someone's looking for a ladder and looking for a black cat in Foster Tuncurry. You are? Give Shane Patterson a call. Here comes Blackie. Blackie making some moves now again on Morris. We're trying to... Yeah, you definitely see the difference in pace now. So Abel Verban's last lap was a 1:13. Everyone else behind him now is doing 1:11. So the crossover is definitely happening. My favourite South Australian's dropped in. How are we, Mr. Haynes? In himself. After a great result in Split 2 on Thursday night. Of course, we are now lap 29 of 81, so nearly getting towards the halfway mark now. This race absolutely has seen a lot thrown at it. Darren Walden, he's got himself 1 second in front. After that round of stops, Verban is in the pits. We'll wait and see where he comes out. Carl Pickering is in 10th. Pico settled himself down pretty well. He's got 1 stop out of the way. So I might just put stops up so people can see, or laps when people pitted, just to make it a bit easier at home. I thought you meant Bulldog. Big shout out to Mr. Bulldog too. I apologise. I survived the race, so I did okay. That is a good attitude, Luke. That was my attitude on Thursday night. That, and I survived 3 hours in a Discord channel with Bulldog.
That's a challenge in itself.
Right, definitely.
We're missing Pato though. Like Pato is like this soothing voice in my ear. A bit like the Days of Thunder when he's in the hospital bed and they're telling him he can't see. And he goes, oh, but have this voice. Pato's my Harry. And every time I talk to Pato, he's eating ice cream, so. Lap 30, we are ticking these down. O'Neill is side by side here with Leon Williams. Neil manages to hang on. Can he go back up the front though, because this battle is really starting to close up a bit more. Simon Black's getting into the thick of this, and so is Craig Rose still. Great to see Rosie up at the pointy end.
Definitely, he's been pushing forward lately. He's been looking quite sharp behind the wheel. No grip out there though.
Be very careful where you put it still. Jump on board with Simon Black.
Oh.
Boy. One. Oh, well, yeah, I've got that one. See coming down. I know it sounds a bit quiet. Apologise for that. But continuing in, going to ride a lap on board with Simon Black. Of course, he would be loving these varying conditions of the road surface. He'd be used to this with his rally stuff that he does. It would have played into his hands a fair bit with the changing environment. See, Morris goes out onto that wet line. You see this amount of spray that still gets thrown up. Black keeps it on the line. Looks to get through here. Walden under a lot of pressure. This is a battle for first, second, and third. It is all
Definitely
happening.
would have been an interesting spot to attempt to move there. 2 and 3.
Oh, absolutely. See that wheel's working very hard as well. Boys chasing across the track.
So these guys are on dries now.
Yeah, everyone's on dries now.
Just wondering why they were heading out into the wet. I thought they might have been trying to cool tyres.
I think I think Walden's defended, and I think Morris has followed. Here we go. Black has a bit of a sneaky look on the inside. Pops it off the curb. He goes around. Oh, and he spins as well. Quick change camera so we see a bit more. Gathers it. Morris is dropping like a fish. Oh, this is lap 32, so I did just miss that one. Apologies.
Meanwhile, Rosie tucked in to take his pit stop.
Yeah, that'll be Rosie's first stop. Pete Morris's first stop as well. Continuing forward, Walden still leading the race. And so he's managed to get a bit ahead of Black, so that's going out to 3 seconds. Going to jump on with Galloway. Galloway tucked up behind Kurt Heath. Good to see Kurt back on track. This race was missing last week.
Yeah, I think he's had 2 rounds off, but yeah, good to have him back in there. There's a lot of gravel on that right-hand side.
There's a lot of gravel. Okay, he's ducked into the pits as well. So starting to see a few of these guys roll in for that first stop. I think Freya still has to stop, and Walden. So still 2 guys need to get into the lane. Oh, there's someone's bumper bar. That has come off Craig Rose. So Rose has lost his front bumper.
He's only just done a trip through the pits, so something went wrong coming out.
Well, I think so. He didn't sharpen my scissors. He's going to jump off Anthony Root back in 17th. He's tucked up behind Darren Friend and chased by someone else behind him. Where else have we got some battles?
Blake behind him's always waiting for a spot, isn't he?
11 frames per second.
Always patient.
Blake behind him didn't have any choice but to be patient. Corafides. He's got Dougie right beside him. He's moving forward as well. Another one who got caught out in that early pit strategy. Changeover as Walden's gone in.
Yeah, I think use of kept wets.
Too long, yeah.
At this point.
And Baldock working in the background again. I don't know.
With Dave in behind, something's about to go wrong for sure.
We were talking about that before, how he seems to always be around when something's going to happen. I'm just going to have a look where Walden's come out after that stop. He's still in the lane. We'll come back to him in a few minutes. So Simon Black is now our effective race leader. Blackie collecting the points. Bonus points for leading a lap. Got a nice little 4-second gap on Galloway. Steve Williams has fought his way back up now as well from pitting on lap 10. So he's got himself back to 3rd. So that is a great result for our championship leader to get himself fighting back into the pack. Lap 35 of 81 we're on at the moment. So this race starting to tick down a little bit. Nearly at the halfway mark.
Yeah, so a lot of these guys you'd expect up in this pointy end, few a bit further forward than they normally are. Timmy's a little bit higher than normal.
Timmy Lachlan is up 21 spots. Verban, he's back in 10th now, so he's getting his way forward. So is Kelly. Right up the back of the wee race entry from Kevin O'Neill. Still a little bit of water offline. That's a good look. Going to get the job done on the inside. Yes, he gets it pulled up. Great driving from Peter Kelly. And Verban now trying to have a bit of a look in here as well. So these are our two championship contenders. All happening at this end. A little bit of a twitch. Kelly. Verban's going to get himself around here. Quickly look to see where Darren Walden is. I've lost him. There he is there. I think I've missed something there, but Walden's got himself back into 6th. So he's tucked up behind Braden O'Loughlin. Save this battle for a minute. Getting a bit overcast again. Getting a bit dark out there, Mark.
It is. Take the shades off again.
And Walden shoots through. It's off. That's not going to help the cause. He continues on. Going to jump back to Braden. He's got Verban behind him. Starting to get a bit darker. Maybe we've got some more rain coming.
A few of these guys definitely pushing hard to get back towards the pointy end.
Yeah, definitely. Just going to chop down here. Good little battle here. These guys are all just being lapped. Ducky right under a fair bit of pressure from Rivet and Morris.
So Van Ray's moving forward to try and put a bit of pressure on Bulldog.
And Dougie in that lane. 39. Ah, yeah. Tucked up behind him here. In front of Morris. Like I said, at 11 frames per second at this stage, so it was bloody hard. He'd make a move and the car would jump. He just didn't have consistency. It wasn't too bad. 109.9 for Abe, so he's getting quicker. It wasn't too bad through most of the corners except for the chicanes where you're changing direction very quickly.
And no team orders here.
Oh no.
No tap on the shoulder. Go, come on, Dave. You're holding up the pack.
Hell no, no team orders at all. He knows his role.
Yeah, well, I'm sure if he was behind you, he'd be going, come on, Johnny, you going to let me through or what?
It's Popeye rules.
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't help the cause, eh? Hit the curb too hard there. Oh, I think I might have missed. I may not have. So Kevy under a bit of pressure from Braden and Kurt. See, I do show myself when I go off. Oh,
Almost took him out to the wall.
almost. Gonna have a look here. No, tucks it back in. Boys here going pretty hard. Oh, he's found a puddle. Can he pull it up in time? Oh, I wonder if there was a little bit of a push in that. Back up, Mr. Kelly. So Verban, sorry, definitely putting the pressure on again.
He's definitely got the pace.
He's playing that cowbell. That's my water bottle. Apologies for that, Will. Lovely 33 degrees in here at the moment. Yeah, Abe's driving very, very well. Still a long way though to catch up to the boys in front. Timmy Hall there, I think, is a lapped car. Nice to get their way through. That was a good look. Pete didn't know he was there before.
Yeah, definitely knows he's there now.
We need to clear the big kids out of your wheel. Might help. Gonna go back a little bit further. Pete Morris and Anthony Rivet and Bulldog. These boys battling very well here as well. Oh, here we go. Morris has got the jump here. Bulldog's going to open the door, lets him through. Rivet's going to come along as well.
Oh. 2 or 3?
So, easy walking. Going to jump back up to Kelly and Verban. They are absolutely flying here. This is great pressure driving from Abel. Come back to Timmy Vermay. Backed up. He's managing to hang on to Yusuf here, so that's great driving by him. He's just got past O'Neill. A little bit of an over-under. Gets a job done in there. Coming back. Keep an eye on my good friend Bulldog. We're talking about a correlation with things, Mark, earlier on. There's Mr. Bulldog. That's all I'm saying. Come next corner. There's Mr. Bulldog. I'm a lap out. Or I've missed it. Either one. You lap out.
So what you're saying, Johnny, is...
we're a lap down. That's all right. We've seen Bulldog. We've seen that car. We'll come back to that in about a minute's time. Right.
So what you're saying, Johnny, is if you're following Bulldog, pit and try and get a bit of separation?
Yeah. Yeah, it seems to be when I show Bulldog, you get involved in an accident. Hey, Bulldog doing very well here. Keep friend Rose and Van Ree behind him. Black stuff down the back looks like snow. It's actually meant to be stones. Moving down. Here we go. Bria having a look with Rose side by side. Well, Rose goes a bit wide, comes across off the grass, just clips him. And everyone's scrambling just to miss him here. He didn't get hit, I do not know. But the Luton Larrikin gets himself going again. And Kelly still under pressure.
It was good that he was able to find a spot to get out of the way there. That's a tricky spot to try and get past him.
Yeah, he was very lucky no one hit him. All happening at the moment. Well, past the halfway mark, about 45 of 81. Simon Black is our race leader, ahead of Bruce Galloway. Blackie's got himself 11 seconds up the road from Bruce. I'd be pretty happy with that at the moment. And then, of course, Stephen Williams.
Carl's got himself back up the pointy end this week.
Yeah, that's 10 licence points for you, Bulldog, for being close. Yes, correct. Hey, Williams got himself into third still. He's worked his way up. Pickering in fourth. Pete Kelly in fifth. So there's still a few guys here to roll out. Kevin O'Neill is in eighth. Ninth is Kurt Heath. Timmy Vermey rounds out our top 10. These boys here having a great little battle. Tough part of the track to go side by side in. Heath manages to get in front of O'Neill. Because this is our other close battle on track still. Kelly and Verban. These boys having an absolute cracker.
He hasn't just let him have it. He's been in front for quite a few laps now.
Making him work for it. Of course, still a long way to go. We've still got 30 odd laps. And we've still got our second round of pit stops to happen as well, so a lot going on at the moment. Of course, Kurt Heath was on 30 laps, newer tyres. Of course, Kevin pitted on lap 3. Kurt had pitted on lap 33. No, that's not true, David. I believe you.
No?
I believe you organised that poster for your own wall from LGC Images. Of course, if you do want posters of your cars, I know Reg could make that happen for you and get it sorted and get it shipped out to you. I can even organise it to be framed. He's Rosie having the drive of his life. Almost gets the move done. This could be past the century. And of course, speaking of LGC Images, don't forget too, we've got plenty of Vets merchandise over there. Go check out the web store. Nice pass, Rosie. Go check out the web store. Plenty of Vets merchandise in there that can be made to order. Reg definitely looks after the league boys pretty well, and definitely suggests, go check that out. Link to it in Discord. So definitely going to be a good idea. Could be some Christmas gifts, some Christmas ideas. It's that time where you've got to start thinking about it, unless you're like me and you wait till the 24th of December. Yeah. Let's jump back on. Pete Kelly's still got Verban behind him. Pete Kelly doing very, very well for Team VJA. As we tick over to lap 49, might go back, check it out, mate, Mr. Rose. He's pulling away here. Of course, Rosie pitted lap 32, Bulldog pitted lap 7. A bit of age difference in tyres. Pico's into the lane, so starting to see these second stops roll out. You were doing the even split, you'd be looking at lap 55, but I think because a few people went in lap 6 and 5 around that time, it's probably a fair stretch of the tyre. Come on, Baldy. You've got this, mate. Get it back. Of course, there may be an alleged story going around that the winner of the Bulldog Van Ree Cup has to drive a green car next year.
With different badges, isn't it?
That's still being negotiated, apparently.
Okay.
As Rose is in the lane, that frees Bulldog up. And he's going to go back up to Kelly. So he is still battling through.
Dave might find some pace in a green Camaro.
That's what I was thinking.
I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it happening.
Well, there is talk of someone else wanting number 37 as well, so... Very tough job deciding over race car numbers for the week. If anyone would like blue 37, let me know. I might be able to slip you $50.
Sure, there's a few new drivers coming in that would mind that number.
Kevin O'Neill wants 37. And Blackie is in, Steve Williams is in. We're starting to see the leaders roll in now. So this is starting to get to the stage of the race where it's going to really have second stops and things come into play. That's not funny.
All three of us thought that was funny, John, so I don't know what Dave's talking about.
Yeah.
You know we love you, Baldy. There he is. Look at that. Blue 37. Look at it go. In 11th too. Doing well. Front of Pickering. Front of Van Ree. This would have to be one of his finest moments, wouldn't it?
It's got to be up there. What's his highest finish? 15 or something?
5 this season. Where are you going, son? That wasn't on my list either. I stumbled onto that one. Either build a shed, either building a shed or had another sip of the water. No, not much going on. Just clicking buttons. Pete Kelly and Abel Verban, they are race leading 1 and 2. Lap 52.
So not only is he still in front, but he's pulled a bit of distance. Well, did until I said something.
Oh, they're in free there, a little bit sideways. Of course, not that I lapped anybody, but from what I could hear on Thursday night, I think everyone was pretty happy with lap traffic. I don't think there was too many people calling out blue flags. Shout out to Carl Pickering as well in the chat.
So did Dave get frightened and just let Pico through?
Went into the pits.
That's what I said. Frightened and just let him through.
Good job on with Steve Williams, who's still fighting his way back up. He's done his second stop. So Kelly, Verban, Walden still need to do their second stops. The track's definitely drying out a fair bit, but still a little bit of spray in a few spots. Listen to the water there, it's going to make it a bit easier for Williams. Carry a bit of pace through.
That would have been close to a slowdown.
Well, he's dropping off a bit there. I reckon it might be. Definitely moving forward still here. Up on with Greg Shelton.
Few cars stacking up behind you there, Johnny.
Yeah, it's still got my 11 frames per second. At this stage, I've come up with a harebrained idea here, because I think someone had dropped out and walked away because they had bad frame rates, and I went, you know what I'm going to do? It's going to take about 60, 70 seconds to service, or about 40 seconds to service the car, and I thought, take about 60 seconds to reboot the server. So straight into the pit lane, exit, quit, come back in. Oh, it's next lap because we're a lap down. That was the game plan. So jump on Walden and came back in, and no, miraculously I had an extra 100 frames per second. The frame rate issue, yeah, it's a GPU iRacing glitch somewhere in the midst there that they're trying to solve. I think they got some ideas, but I think in the next couple of updates that come through, they hopefully will have it sorted. But it's taken them a fair while to try and get it to reproduce itself, so that they can test it and work through it. So there's a few things written about it in the forums, and also Bruce has been doing a bit of talking to a few people as well, so there are things you can do like Discord overlays. Apparently that gives you a couple of frames. I think quite a few people have posted quite a few good things about frame rates and stuff like that. You can have a look at what GPU do I have. I only have a 3070, so it's not super impressive, but does the job. It's lap 56. Stay with this group here for a minute. Yeah, so that's pretty much the way it goes. Ball's still going. Keep an eye on him for a minute. These boys here still battling pretty hard. That might be
Yeah, there's a car out in the gravel just there.
Tim Hall, yeah. No, it wasn't Tim. That was someone else. And I'm just got to keep an eye on that one. So Tim's in 17th. Anthony Revitt's putting a bit of pressure. That was Tim then, was it? Yep, there is Tim in the wall. I missed it. Bugger it. And I think that car is not too healthy and is about to stop.
Yep.
Keep an eye on what's going on. I do think we have just gone to the safety car.
A couple of wheels looked a bit wobbly there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And going to keep an eye up in the pit lane. So Kelly, Verban, Walden, Heath, Morris have to pit still. So does Freya and Rose. So still a few guys to pit. Walden's in the lane at the moment. The safety car has moved forward. So Mandeep is on his way out. Of course, great Uber driver from Adelaide, Mandeep Singh. I know I've got him booked in for the 5th and 6th of December when I come over. So, South Australian boys will be doing some dinner on Saturday night. So keep an eye out for that information.
Poor Dave's only got 22 frames and you've left that out.
Why didn't he go in the pits and restart his computer?
Oh,
Yeah.
Darren!
Oh,
Oh! That is... I think he's not the only person who got caught out doing that. I think a few have done that over the journey. Simon Black gets himself past the lane. That's going to put him in front. Verban is in the pits, so is Kelly. Bruce Galloway, let's see if he can get a jump up here.
there's going to be a lot of movement now.
And Galloway gets himself out. Verban gets himself into second, so Galloway splits the difference there. And of course, our great friend Mandeep Singh out there in the safety car, looking after it. That reminds me, I do have to give a 5-star review at the end of this. And we just might take the opportunity to have a quick look at the lap 43 incident with Darren Freer. Jump on the Chook Rewind raffle. And coming into turn 11, Rosie on the outside, looking to make a move. Darren comes in, Rosie probably a little bit hotter into the corner than he expected, gets himself that little bit wider on exit, finds the grass. Of course, the grass is still wet, be hard to pull the car up and stop. Darren tries to give a little bit of room. Rosie just gets into the tail. Around she goes. And this is where it gets real interesting. There's our championship leader, just half a metre, if that, to safety there. And then a few others trying to avoid millimetre cigarette paper thickness there. So definitely a lot happening very quickly in that battle there. Wave around's happening now with the safety car.
And the Blue 37, was that involved?
In that one, nah.
That's been too slow for them.
He did just pass the abandoned car that caused this safety car to come out. Yeah, just as the car came to a stop, he drove past. I went, yep, there he is again.
This kiss of death. Yeah. Look, yeah, mine's an AMD build. Very happy with it. It's run well for 3-4 years, so I'm not too overly stressed. It's really just been the same bug that a lot of other people have been suffering from. So, yeah.
Hopefully iRacing can fix it soon.
continuing on. So I'd say the safety car will be in next lap. So one more lap under the safety car here. And then it will be a great little battle to get home. You get a 20-lap sprint. Jump on board. Joe, he's sitting on the other side of the car, of course. Buttons and a spaceship. Need a carton of beer after this season. I think that was the guys that did split 3 on Thursday night. I think they ended up with something like 30, 25 or 30 on their sheet. So they had a very busy night. I think there was only like 3 or 4 on split 1, which was quite bizarre. And then we'd had 40 on Friday night for the Pro Series. Absolute nightmare. So this is going to be a great little battle. Can Black hold off Verban? Can Bruce Galloway get himself onto the podium? It'd be great to see him rocket in. And then the other one we have Stevie Williams, our championship leader. Pete Kelly is in the mix there as well. Kurt Heath having a great race. Pico in the top 10 again. Pete Morris in the top 10 again. Walden, after his little pit exit, still sits in the top 10 in 9th. And Kevin O'Neill rounds out our top 10 from Timmy Verme in 11. So plenty to play for at this stage. Jump on with Black, and he's gone. He's gone at Dandenong.
Left him sleeping.
Yep. Smart play, of course. One of the men that has done plenty of safety car control work between Scops and Pro Series, Simon. So he definitely would have seen it all before. And he has definitely got him sleeping. 1 second back to Verban, 1.5 seconds back to Galloway. So he's nearly got 3 seconds on fourth in that jump. That is pretty impressive. Kelly and Williams, they are going toe to toe though. We are racing again, 20 laps to the finish. Everybody now on the same tyres. Everybody now on relatively, I think at most they're looking at about a 10-lap deg in tyre difference, so that making it a fairly level playing field for this next 20 laps. It's definitely going to roll through pretty quick. Verban with a 109.172, fastest lap of the race, so he's showing his intentions pretty early. No one else in the 109s except for Simon Black.
Steve Williams is now clear of Bruce and moving his way forward.
Yep, definitely. He could get into this battle as well. It's a 3-second gap back though. And Bruce has Kelly tucked up behind him. And Simon Black has Verban tucked right up behind.
He's closed that distance pretty quick.
He has. Let's see, this will be an interesting battle to keep an eye on. Just going to go back to Timmy Verme, Kevin O'Neill. Only a 10th in that as well. It's a bit hard to know where to look at the moment. We go back to Galloway and Kelly. So Kelly looks like he's got a little bit more pace here. Oh, a little wide again from Williams. Slows him down. This has allowed Galloway to come back at him. Oh, off the puddle.
All three of them look like they got a little sideways through that.
That little puddle can be nasty.
Yeah, the mower man won't be happy when he goes to mow next week. Gravel everywhere.
We have definitely kicked a fair bit up. Stay with this battle for a second. Drop back here. Oh, there's Bulldog.
Yeah, something's got to go wrong.
That's been in the wars a fair bit.
Was Dave a lap down to those guys, or why did he move across and...
No, Dave's not a lap down, no.
Okay.
Someone's been spun. Go back up the front though. No, I was a lap down on Dave, so and Friendly was on the same lap I was, so it was a very interesting mix up the back of the pack there. Of, you know, guys who are a lap down, who are a little bit quicker, trying to push through, and guys letting people through and not letting people through. So yeah, it was quite an interesting one. And then, yeah, he had bad frames. Well, so he's getting out of everyone's way. He's thinking of everyone else first. I want to question that. You feeling all right, Baldy? You okay, mate?
Conversation in the chat was asking about how many cars you draw. I draw all cars and I sit on 177 without a drop at all, so I don't know that it's to do with drawing cards. I do have a very good computer, but people have a similar computer and are still having the same issues.
And see what Verban can do now. He's still tucked up behind. Pete Kelly's still tucked up behind as well. Lap 66 of 81.
He's looking. Oh, over under. They're not giving up, are they?
No. Bouncing over the curbs opens the door up for Heath to have a bit of a look here though. Pickering lurking in the background. Morris not out of this either.
Oh.
Oh! Who was that? That was Kurt. Lucky to hang on to that. Very lucky. Lives to play another day. Galloway still under pressure. Black still under pressure as well up front. check this one out here. So there's a good little battle still going on here. So this is Tim Vermeer, Kevin O'Neill, Braden O'Loughlin, Yusuf Korafides, Greggy Shelton. Yusuf showing a fair bit of pace again.
Some great battles all the way up the field. 1 and 2, 4 and 5, 10 and 11, 12 and 13.
Darren, Friend and Shelton. Everyone's battling everywhere. Go back up. This gap's getting closer and closer now. And the 2/10.
Simon's on the slightly older tyre.
Yeah, 7-lap difference. Lucky doing very well. Really closes under brakes. Does Verban. Dougie right in front, so lap traffic now about to become a factor in this game as well. Jump on Yusuf, he's literally right up behind O'Neill. This time he gets out of the toe. Does he get it pulled up? Oh, he does. That's one through. Simon Black's under pressure again. That gap is getting ever closer. Oh, big lock up.
He's showing great patience to not push a move that's not there.
Definitely. We've got 11 laps to go.
Yeah, definitely a lot of other great battles, but this one's so close it's hard to look away.
They got themselves out to a 7-second lead over Williams as well. That was the interesting part about it.
Because they're not fighting and trying to battle for corners, slow each other down.
Yusuf and Timmy Vermeer getting in the action there as well.
They did well to keep that together.
Did very well. Kevin O'Neill into the back of that one now. So a good little battle here between Kev and Tim. Just going to jump back up to that one up the front. So what can Blackie do here? Can he hang on? Race going to the end by the looks of it. Galloway in the lane. They might have somebody in trouble with some incident points maybe. Been a little bit of a factor on Thursday night, I think, for a few guys. I know there's a lot of guys, particularly during the wetter stage of the circuit, getting the odd off track here and there. Steve Williams putting pressure on Peter Kelly still as well. Back up on that front battle. We might sit on board with Abel for a lap. Well, we can before we run out of laps. Pace there. Simon's doing very well here. Another lap car in front to contend with as well.
Nice to see them let him get through and get on with it.
Yeah, definitely what you want to see. Abel doing very, very well. A little twitchy there from Simon. Had an opening. About to see. Only a very little twitch. These boys absolutely on the limit here. 74 now of 81, so we are getting down to the pointy end.
Whilst we've been watching that, Pete Kelly got past Steve Williams.
Yes, too, yep. And made some time on that one as well. Go back up the front. I normally try and share the love around a bit, but these boys here are having a cracking battle.
I think he's been closer at this point.
Got it down, it's only a 10th. That is absolutely flying. This is some great driving. You can't tell me we don't put it on, turn it on here in Vets, particularly in Split 4. This has been...
Simon showing his experience and stepping half a car out just to cover.
Yeah. Interesting to see coming around down into Dandenong again. So it's closer this time. Gonna make a move. That is the question.
Just doing a great job covering him off by the look of things.
Exceptional job.
Oh no, look who's in front of him.
Oh no, he knows gets out of the
Oh, no.
way. Like a Top Gear
Right.
challenge when they've got the old beat up Volkswagen in the background, isn't it?
Yep.
Here's the blue 37. If you bugger this up, you can drive this car. Abe doing very well here. So is Simon Black. The pressure must be huge for Simon.
Well, at this point, even for Abel, because Abel's probably looking and going, I'm running out of laps. If I'm going to make a move, I don't have a lot of time left.
Weldon and Yusuf having a good little battle too. Everyone else is sort of spread out a fair bit here.
Yep.
Can Abel pressure Simon into a mistake? That is probably the real question here. I don't think he's got the legs to get past. But the mistake might help tip the balance over.
Simon's car's moving around a little bit, but he's still holding it together well.
Doing very well. It has just been pressure after pressure after pressure. I'm saying, like, the lap traffic has been so good as well. As I know, when I look in the relative and you see 1 and 2.3 apart, last thing you want to do is be the man in the middle, or be the man to control the outcome. Abel doing very well. This time he's got a better run out. Oh, gets
Had
a
a
twitch.
better run.
Very twitchy.
Up towards Dandenong again. Can Simon hang on here? This is the question.
You know, I actually think we're seeing the real blue 37 out here in front.
What are we saying? A petition to see whether Simon gets to take on 37.
Very well. Got that car nice and wide. D79. 3 laps to go. Probably been one of the greatest battles for the lead we've seen in a long time in split 4. What's gonna happen? Of course, everyone else is fairly well spread out, as you can see on the board there. And through Dandenong, 2 laps to go at the end of this lap. Can Simon Black hang on for a victory? And Abel Verban put a stamp on this championship as well? These are the 2 questions. Kelly in 4, championship leader Williams in... Sorry, Kelly in 3rd, championship leader Williams in 4. Kurt Heath 5th, Pickering 6th. Pete Morris in the top 10 and 7th. Eustace Corofidis has got his way back to 8th. Darren Walden is 9th, up 20 spots. And then, of course, Timmy Verme rounds out the top 10. He's a lot closer this time and doesn't have the twitch. We are less than 2 tenths 2 laps to go.
He's got to have a look this time, doesn't he?
Gone out
having a
wider.
look.
He's gone out wider. Simon covers. Gone wide. He comes back in behind. Simon locks it up. Oh, no! The mistake, a slight minor lockup. Wasn't very big either. That's enough. That is enough. It's going to go a bit further down. Timmy Vermay, Darren Walden, Yusuf. Those guys are pretty good. Timmy Vermay tucked up behind Darren Walden. That's the only other battle we got on track as we're about to start the white flag lap. So definitely a few things happening. Abel Verban, no, he has managed to get himself.
And with that lock up, Simon doesn't have the tyres to go back at him, so he's
No.
now just pulling away.
No. Happy to take the second though. That'll be good points still for him. And definitely a great result for Verban. Verban. Having a shocker tonight. Definitely will be a great result for Abel. He'll be pretty happy with that. I think he has clutched another race victory. I think this is his third for the season. He will be starting to stamp his authority as he crosses the line home ahead of Simon Black. In second, in third will be Pete Kelly. But boy, we're still running on the list. Pete Kelly does have a 10 licence point post-race penalty for an incident on lap 29 with Dougie Wright. So that's going to knock him down the order. So he will finish 8th, and then Steve Williams will move on to the podium into P3. So P4 will be Kurt Heath. P5 will be Carl Pickering. P6 will be Pete Morris. P7 will be Yusuf Korafides. And then Pete Kelly. And then Darren Walden will bring it home in 9th. Up 20 spots for him. Tim Vermay will round out the top 10 in up 5 spots in 10. Big race, boys.
That was a great race.
Big race. I think Simon will look back at that one as one he gave away, but I think he'd be pretty chuffed with that result once he puts that in the bag himself. Definitely going to have a tough job for us, lads, when we start to think. And 2 points table says finished 4th.
I would think it's a hard argument to go past Kurt Heath for the driver of the day.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
Yeah, okay, we'll go Kurt Heath. Driver of the day. Hope he's still on track. And I'll type that in. Kurt Heath. Caps lock. Sorry, Kurt. Kurt Heath for driver of the day. Big congratulations to him for that one. And he has done rather well with that. So congratulations to Kurt. And of course, Abel's not with us, so I know he'd like to thank his team at Sim RacerHQ. And Simon, I know, would like to thank the OSR crew and everybody else associated with them, particularly Mike Korolev. Yeah, I was just going off the points on that one, Pete. I think you have a look at the points. I think you'll see the point numbers you've dropped down. Anyway, Pete would like to thank his teammates as well. Steve Williams would like to thank the DPR crew. And, of course, Kurt, Apex Sim Racing League, Carl Pickering. That, I think it was a very tough race in much changing conditions. So plenty of you talk about it. a lot of guys going on about how it should be, you know, they liked it, but it was a procession. I don't think it was really a procession. I think Sandown usually is a procession, particularly the Gen 3 car. I don't think it would have made a difference if we did a full dry race or a half wet race. I think it just created some very interesting scenarios, some strategy calls, mistakes were made in strategies as well. And I think that created another factor. What I want to talk about is Thruxton. That is going to be an absolute blinder for everybody. So I'm looking forward to that one. So for those that have not read the sub-regs and have not read the regs themselves, because it's in there as well, I'll explain what's happening. So we will have a standard 10-minute 3-lap qualifying. So that will result in setting a grid. Then with the grid for the first race, which is going to be called the qualifying race, so similar to V8's supercar, where they do a qualifying race to fix the grid, we're going to do a qualifying race, except the top 10 from the first qualifying will be inverted. So if you set the fastest lap time in your 3-lap lone qualifying, you'll be starting in 10th. Then we do a 60-kilometre race. I can't remember exactly what the lap number was. We do a 60-kilometre race, no compulsory pit stop. And then in that 60-kilometre race, wherever you finish is where you will start the next race. Don't have time to sort points and stuff like that out for penalties and stuff. So wherever you finish is where you start. And then the feature race, which will be 90 kilometres, that will have one compulsory pit stop, which you'll have to do anyway because of fuel, I believe. But the question will be, how much fuel do you need and whether it tyres or the rest of it? That will be the challenge. And the championship points for that round are all set off that feature race. So yeah, that pretty much explains how that one works. And after doing a few laps around Thruxton last night, it is a very interesting place, Hazy.
It's very interesting. Really quick track, and yeah, in top gear, fighting for positions is definitely interesting.
Yeah, and it's got some interesting lines into a few of the corners as well, which is going to make it very, I think, hard for us, but anyway, they'll work it out. It is a tough one. So I guess the next thing we need to do is we need to have a quick look at the championship points, where they stand at the moment. And of course, this is still with one drop round. So Steve Williams is still leading the series, and he is definitely going to be 15 points ahead of Abel Verban. Don't forget, we still have one more drop to add into this as well. So guys such as Wilco that was missing this week, and a few others with a bad round will clean themselves up a bit more. So I think because we're around 7 next week, I will roll out the 2 drops next week when we finish the race, so everyone's got a fair picture of where they're up to in this championship. But Steve Williams is leading it from Abel Verban. Simon Black moves himself up into 3rd. That's a great jump from Blackie. Pete Kelly sits in 4th. Pete Morris is in 5th. That is a great effort for him to put himself in that relegation promotion area. Of course, don't forget that comes back onto the ranking system, which we'll talk about as we get closer to round 10. Michael Hayes is in the battle there as well. He's only 4 points back from Morris. Yusuf Korafides is only 5 points back, or 9 points back from Morris. Dave Baldock's dropped down to 8th now, but he's not that far off when you start looking at the fact he's only 30 points behind Morris with still quite a few races to go. Pickering's moved into the top 10. He sits 9th. Walden is in the top 10 in 10th. Then Darren Ferrer, O'Neill, Vermey, Friend, Wright, Buckland, who didn't race last night. Sean Slater, Greg Sholton, Timmy Hall, Robinson, Peter Wilkinson, Rose, Van Reet, Heath, Logsdale rounds out that order. Been a big weekend, boys.
Yeah, I'd like to throw in Anita and Gary are feeling a little under the weather. They've been away for a week or two, so hopefully they get better soon and we see them back out on track.
Yeah, I hope so too. The big question is, how close will I be to Blue 37? Oh, Kevin. Kevin.
That's not something you should be asking.
I think we need to make it spicy enough to give John encouragement to actually give Dave a decent run.
Give Dave a decent run.
What can we throw out there that will encourage John to put his elbows out and push Dave a little bit harder week in, week out?
May happen soon.
I heard there's a certain alcoholic product that might get a bit of encouragement happening with you, John.
Well, see, the Bulldog Van Reed Trophy, that beverage gets given to the loser. So hence, I've got my trip coming over to South Australia to collect. I lose 2 seasons. It's going to be, I may need to take some checks. I may need to check luggage so I can get home. Yeah. Oh, God, that's great. Yeah, Mr. Bulldog. He is definitely the man, the myth, the legend. Definitely going to be very big. Going to be very big to see how he finishes the season off. He's having another good season. He's driving well. He's got his new PC now, so when the frame rates do work, racing staff's not buggering around, he should be okay with that. Still drives a little bit too Mr. Polite, but I think Pato comes back in, he can get him fired up again. Definitely all to play for, and we will be back next Friday night again, back in our normal time slot, as we don't have any more Enduros on Friday nights. Definitely going to be a huge finish to this season. As I was saying, we have Thruxton with the Thruxton with the sprint round. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that plays out and how people handle that one. We then roll into, after Thruxton, we roll into Mexico, where we're doing the national circuit. Of course, the national circuit is the NASCAR circuit. That's got the tyre bundles on the chicanes and everything else, so that's going to be very, very interesting and some good fun to race at. We then go to Red Bull, where we will be in the hills, where it is getting to winter over in that part of the world, so we may or may not see some precipitation. That's all I'm going to say about Red Bull. And then we roll into Sachsenring for a sprint race to finish the season off. So that'll be very interesting, 42 laps around the famous German circuit. So looking forward to that. Luke Gorman, I feel exactly the same. Everyone needs to get involved when Bruce asks for people to do the poll for tracks and stuff like that. Anyway, that is what it is. It'll be interesting. I think it's going to be a very interesting round. I think the sprint format spices it up a little bit anyway to make it something a bit different, a bit more exciting. On that, it is all clicking along. Going back to my list of things to talk about. Don't forget to, as I mentioned before, don't forget to go check out the merchandise that we have available. So under announcements, click on the merchandise tab. You'll see all the links to the LCG Images store, where you can get yourselves everything that you need. And definitely, if you need shirts or various other things, I think Reg just about does everything from bar mats to stubby holders to shirts, hoodies. Can even do team stuff if you talk to Reg. I know Reg has done all the team shirts for quite a few teams now, so well worth having a chat to him. He even does milestone flags now as well, apparently. And then, of course, the last one I want to bring up, if you haven't already, please get your entries in for next season. Next season kicks off on the 18th of December, and then we have a 2-week break for the Easter period. But please get your entries in. Need those done for split 25 drivers. Need to be done by Thursday the 11th, so you've only got 11 more days, 2 more weeks to get it done. And then we open it up to the wait list. The wait list is starting to grow. It's still $35. We haven't put the fees up or anything, so I think we've done pretty well since 21. We've had the same price for fees. So make sure you get your entry in. The sooner you get your entries in, the sooner we can start shoring up race controls, knowing how many splits and things we need. At the moment, there's only 57 names on the list, so yeah, make sure you get yourselves in on the list. Anything else you boys want to add?
No, I'm actually looking forward to this week coming. I think it's going to be an interesting week, and it might switch things up a little bit.
Well, I won't be around, so yeah, I'm not going to buy the track if I'm not going to be around to race it. So yeah, I'll do it next time around.
Not too easy. Anyway, on that note, we might wrap this one up, and we will see everybody again on Friday night. Thanks for watching.
See you next week.
Racing the RaceKraft PT1 custom-built full chassis racing simulator. The design project, codenamed The Cage, an 80/40 extrusion chassis sitting on top of a Sigma Integrale DK2 Plus 4-point full motion actuator system. No compromises in the cockpit of the PT1 simulator. To maximize the experience, we start with a 49-inch ultra-wide monitor for the greatest field of view in a small footprint of the simulator, down to the SimuCube wheelbase that's tucked up and behind the monitors with SimCore extensions to get things out of the driving area. Everything is connected to a Cube Controls GTX steering wheel with the built-in dash and all the extra button functions available at your fingertips. Driving through the Raceworks S1 pedals, the potentiometer throttle and the 2 hydraulic pedals for brake and clutch ensures you maximize the feel underfoot, and seating yourself into an OMP HTER bucket racing seat with OMP belts connected to a G-belt tensioner to provide that extra feeling and the heightened experience while you're driving. Additional interfaces and accessories in the PT1, we have twin butt kickers, one on either side of the OMP seat, as well as a Jinx sequential shifter, the SimPush Race Logic timer to the left-hand side, a RaceKraft built-in WinSim kit with Philips Hue lighting and a built-in sound bar, plus the OMP side net to finish off the experience in the PT1. The RaceKraft PT1, build number 1, the ultimate in sim racing experience, combining the best products in the market with the passionate, no compromise approach that goes beyond racing simulation.